Hey guys! This tutorial will be on rates of reaction for Level 1 students. There are 3 ways you can increase the rate of reaction: temperature, concentration, and surface area. The important phrases to add within this discussion is that an increase of all these methods will 1. Have a higher chance of successful or effective collisions, and 2. Increase the frequency of successful collisions per second. The important words here are successful, effective, and frequency. Starting with temperature, the higher the temperature, the more kinetic energy the particles will gain. Therefore, the particles will move faster and, as I mentioned earlier, result in a greater chance of successful collisions occurring more frequently. In the exam, you will need to talk about the specific reactants given, like the name of the acid. Temperature is the only method where the particles gain more energy. The next method I'll be talking about is concentration. Increasing the concentration of an acid means that there will be more particles within the same volume of acid. Therefore, there will be more particles available to react with the other reactants. In other words, there will be more particles per unit volume. This will too increase the chance of successful or effective collisions and the frequency of successful collisions. Note here as well that you need to be talking about the specific reactants unless the question is generalized. Finally, increasing the surface area into smaller pieces such as powder form, it results in a faster reaction because in comparison to a big blob of reactant, the powder form has much more immediately exposed area for collisions. In other words, since there are more surface area, there is more surface in which the acid particles can collide with, which can sound a little confusing. Again, this will increase the chance of effective or successful collisions and the frequency of successful collisions. In comparison, if you decrease any of these methods, it will simply be the opposite. Like for temperature, the particles will have less kinetic energy. For concentration, there will be less particles in the same volume of acid. With surface area, there will be less immediately exposed particles, which will all decrease the number of successful or effective collisions and the frequency of successful collisions per second. Moving on, you will likely need to relate to a graph and perhaps compare this knowledge with how much gas is produced, and explain how the graph is steep at first but slowly gets narrower. Also, you may be required to talk about the collision theory, how the particles need to collide with sufficient energy at the correct orientation and such. It may also be worthwhile looking at catalysts too. Make sure you find more information on these, as this tutorial specifically only focuses